good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to you, the wonderful people of the troop. Hope you are feeling grand and all is well in your world. I don't know what that was. I think I've pulled a muscle in my head. Anyway, moving along. Today, welcome to another video of how many tones can you get out of one amplifier. Today, we are trying to get the legendary tone of Mr. Paul Kossoff of Free and later Backstreet Crawler. It's a very classic rock guitar sound, Mr. Kossoff's sound is, and it's awesome, and I love the sound, and I feel I got quite close, but I say, we'll get to that in a minute. Quick kind of history on what Paul used. Les Pauls were his mainstay, 99.9% of the time, it was a Les Paul standard. He had three main ones. There was the one that the neck broke off, that's kind of out there now that people know about. It's like a 59 or a 58, no one actually knows because obviously the headstock's replaced, no serial number. People think it's just a 59. He had a stripped burst, which is just gorgeous, and I would just love to own a replica of that stripped burst he had for the Isle of Wight gigs. For the Isle of Wight festival, sorry. It's just amazing looking guitar, absolutely adore the look of that guitar. And he also had a tobacco burst Les Paul as well. Which I seem to remember hearing, oh go away. Seem to remember hearing it was Eric Clapton's guitar. I don't know how true that is, and again, you know, I can tell you what I know. Amp-wise, well actually, sound guitars, he did switch to a Strat later on. He had a white one, he also has a black one that's owned by Dave Murray by Iron Maiden, who used that substantially, obviously, kind of like for the first half of Iron Maiden, used that a lot. Amp-wise, it was again 99.9% of the time Marshall. I've seen him in a Fender, I've seen him in a Vox, and I've seen him in like a small box Marshall, but it's mainly super leads. More often than not, really. It's kind of was his thing. Also, another thing to note is he used B cabs only. He didn't like A cabs. He said they just didn't. They were too bright, and he liked B cabs because they had more bottom end and more boom and a tighter sound. I think he said. So that's quite interesting, and I've got to say I'm kind of with him on that. I do agree, and I definitely prefer the sound of a B cab. It just has more girth, if you will. So yeah, so that's kind of what he used most of the time. No pedals, straight into the amp. He said in an interview that somebody asked him why don't you use pedals, and he said he's just found it better just to go straight into the amp. He never had any issues, like never needed any pedals. So I mean that's cool. So yeah, that's it really. That's kind of a brief history on Mr. Kossoff. And I wanted to get this tones video out of the way, well not out of the way, but kind of, I wanted to do this video before I start my series on how to play like the man in question today, because it makes more sense that way. And I say, well, I am working on the lessons to play like in the style of Paul Kossoff. So let's show you the EQ on the CR120, and yeah, let's get to it. Okay, so Dirty Channel is the main channel. This is kind of set up to be, you know, Paul's main sound, that real kind of like classic broken up, all right now, Walk in My Shadow, Mr. Big kind of tone. So I've got the gain on 5, so it's kind of like, you know, halfway, bass on 1, usual thing here for Dave, mid and treble on 0, so they're off all the way to the left, volume on 10, no reverb, as you know, Marshall Plexus didn't have reverb, you had to, you know, but I've got to say Paul Kossoff's sound is fairly warm. It's a fairly kind of darkish but aggressive sound, and I say reverb can sometimes muddy that up and make it a bit cluttered. Usual thing of master volume on 2. I've got the clean channel. I've got the clean channel set up to be kind of like almost Be My Friend tone, which I'll get to in a minute. So I've got the treble on 3, bass on 4, and volume around. Actually, let's just round that up. Let's get OCD on this. It's not quite there. It's on 7, so that's that. And as I say, I'll get to that. I'll play through this sound first. But I say this is the main sound. This is the Kossoff channel today, the Dirty Channel. So let me show you what it sounds like. Okay, so we're going to start on the clean channel. I'm basically just going to play loads of free songs mainly, and just kind of like just get a bit lost in it. So I'm going to start with clean channel. You'll hear me switch over to the Dirty Channel at some point. So yeah. Let's get to it. I'm going to start with Be My Friend, which I adore playing. It's one of my favourite free songs to play. So. Okay, I apologise immensely for getting absolutely immensely carried away with that, but it's a very inspiring sound, and as I say, I've got no pedals, I'm straight into the amp. I'm sorry if you can hear the annoying cement rolling machine outside, by the way. They're building a house across the way. So. But what a sound. I mean, it's so inspiring. I mean, playing the Hunter at the end there, I was like, oh, absolutely lost. I didn't know where I was. I didn't know where I was, and I didn't care. I was happy. It really is one of those sounds. It's like the Hendrix sound, it's like the Mick Ronson sound. There's certain tones that connect with me in a certain way where literally my brain just turns off and I just play. And I'm not thinking about what key, what lick to play, what this. I'm just playing, and they're the best sounds. The sounds where I find myself thinking about what I'm playing is normally the sounds that I love but don't get on with so well. And this is just one of those gorgeous sounds, and oh, heaven, I tells you. I say, it feels like Paul Kossoff's sound. It sounds like it to me. I say, especially being right next to the cab as well, like where he used to stand and do his solos. I mean, he must have been deaf by the end of the gig, considering how loud he played, but absolutely awesome. As usual, let me know how close you think this is in the comment section down there. Oh, somebody get Paul Rogers on the phone immediately. We need to go on tour with this. We need to reunite, unfortunately, the last two surviving members of Free, and we need to go on tour right now, playing these songs. I need Paul Rogers' number. Oh. Absolutely amazing. I absolutely love this sound. I'm going to go and keep playing on this sound, I think. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you've enjoyed this sound. I certainly have. Thank you, Paul Kossoff, for such an amazingly gorgeous guitar sound, an amazingly gorgeous guitar playing, ridiculously underrated guitarist, and he should be more well known than he is. Thank you, Orange, for creating that amp which can recreate that sound, and thanks to Vintage for this awesome guitar that recreates that and makes it feel right as well. Oh, amazing. And so I'll be doing more on Paul Kossoff soon with my how to play like him. So yeah, I'll see you again very soon. Have a great morning, afternoon and good evening, and goodbye now.